You're watching East Tennessee Weather, powered by Rusty Wallace Automotive Group.
And good morning, everyone. It is now 7:01, getting us started on this Wednesday morning, and bone-chilling, icy. Black ice is a major issue. Some of the coldest air of the season. By the way, this morning's live is Wake Up with Witcher, sponsored by Mold Doctors USA. Freezing weather enables frozen pipes and costly water damage. We're going to talk about that this morning, by the way. Mold Doctors USA has proudly responded to thousands of emergency water damage calls all over East Tennessee, helping homeowners and businesses quickly recover with emergency drying and water damage cleanup. They are locally owned and operated for 20 years. They are licensed, assured, and bonded. They are a certified and accredited full-service restoration company here in the area. If you find yourself in need of an emergency water cleanup following a burst pipe, like we could again this morning, or maybe even this weekend, call Mold Doctors USA at 865-945-3000 or visit them online at molddoctorsusa.com. Most importantly, they do have a call center available 24/7, 365 days a year. Mold Doctors USA is there to help you with any water damage you may experience, and we're talking about the coldest air of the season. Brutally cold out there this morning, so frozen pipes are a major issue. I posted that on social media yesterday evening, and again, it could be in place again this weekend. So if you have any issues, call them immediately. All right, here we go. Live lookout of East Tennessee here at this hour. And again, we've got some icy conditions, and that's going to be the story because it's so cold this morning. Oh, it just cuts through you. Black ice is going to be a major problem. If the road looks wet, it is not wet, my friends. It is pure ice. That's a live look in Hardin Valley, top left-hand side of the screen. We got Fox Road Marina. I was watching that because I talked to the marina owner just the other day, and he said, listen, so I've only seen it a couple times, but the little cove area where Fox Road Marina is, there's a possibility that the lake could freeze. There was a time that somebody skated across the lake there because it was so frozen. I don't think it's going to happen this time around. We'll see how it all plays out. And then the bottom left-hand side of the screen, we've got downtown Gatlinburg. You can see some icy and snowpack conditions along the downtown strip. And good morning to Maynardville, everybody in Union County. Here's the story this morning, though. Freezing fog could be an issue to get the day started, something to keep in mind as we travel out and about as well. Or if you park outside and you have some fog and freezing fogs with you this morning, keep in mind that that could be an issue as you get the day started. Now, listen, if you don't have to travel this morning, I would say probably don't travel, at least for the short term. But I know it's a Wednesday. I know the kids are still out of school, but doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to necessarily not have to go back to work, right? And so if you have to go back to work, give yourself some extra time. I actually drove out on the roads yesterday. I went to visit a friend. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to leave the neighborhood. I have a car, not a truck. And kids were sledding down the hill. And I started to go up the hill, and they were in the way, so I had to back down the hill, and then get like a running start. My 10-year-old was a nervous wreck trying to get out of the neighborhood. I was like, buddy, I have done this many, many, many years. I'm from Colorado. I have driven through a lot of blizzards through the mountains of Colorado just to get up to the ski resorts. And like when I was like 16, 17, all through college and whatnot. But he was a nervous wreck trying to get to our friend's house. Now, I came home just before sundown because I didn't want the roads to refreeze, and I wanted to be able to get back home. And actually didn't really have any major issues. You just got to drive slow, got to give yourself some extra time, plenty of distance between you and the car ahead of you. Now, I did slide down the hill a little bit, but the ABS brakes kicked in, and it was a good learning experience, or learning conversation, I should say, with my 10-year-old, because he was like, what's that noise? I was like, oh, those are called ABS brakes. Back in the old days, you actually had to use your foot to pump the brakes, but now technology has the ABS brakes and definitely helps out. But do travel safely if you have to travel whatsoever. The question this morning is, how many of you actually opened up the cupboards, kept your temperatures above 55 degrees? Well, I hope you did, because it's just 55 is too cold in the house. But did you open the cupboards? Did you drip your faucets last night due to the cold air that's in place this morning? That's the question this morning. If you did so, let me know, because that's the smart thing to do to make sure you don't have any frozen pipes, because that would be the worst thing in the world. Could you imagine having a frozen pipe right now with this dangerously cold air in place? We'll get to the chat here in a second. It is now 7:06, so I want to get folks out on the roadways here this morning. That's a live look at 40 and 17th Street in downtown. One thing I wanted to point out with this is while the major interstates are fine, and still could be icy because road temperatures are down into the single digits. I'll highlight that in a moment. But, and those on and off ramps, but notice off the distance. See that little haze? That's that freezing fog that's a possibility. And so it's only 7 o'clock, sun comes up. I think the fog will thicken up in some locations. And so as you travel, bridges and overpasses, they're going to be the first to freeze if there's freezing fog along the rivers and the bridges and overpasses. So if one of those bridges and overpasses has a turn on it, you probably want to slow it way down and keep your speeds down either way you look at it here this morning. So, all right, let's go to the weather maps and talk about it. All day sunshine, so we've got that going for us. Don't forget the sunglasses if you're leaving. You know, with the sun on the ground, what you get is an albedo effect. It's the reflection from the snow. That does a couple things. It keeps us from heating up much today. But another thing, I don't know about you. I mean, I wear sunglasses on a cloudy day because, well, I had LASIK years ago, and so my eyes are a little extra sensitive. But, man, that sunshine will blast you and reflect off that white snow, and that is just going to be blinding for sure. But it's going to be another great day for the kids to get out and enjoy. If you happen to have kids that have been enjoying the snow, I've got my 8-year-old who just did not stop playing in the snow all day long, and then last night he just passed out. All right, so improving road conditions throughout the day today. Not so much this morning, but road temperatures come up a little bit this afternoon. Air temperatures come up a little bit this afternoon. Not to mention, the sun's energy will go into melting the snow. Now, even though it's going to be cold and below freezing, the sun helps to melt the snow. And until all that snow melts away, air temperatures just will not be allowed to warm because we actually warm the air around us through the earth. So the sun heats the earth, generally speaking, heats us. And so with snow on the ground, you reflect that sunlight back into outer space or back into the sky. And so it doesn't heat the earth up. And therefore, air temperatures stay on the cold side. And again, that's why we have that wind chill advisory until noon throughout the day today. Another winter weather maker moves in late Thursday into early Friday. Doesn't have a lot of precipitation with it, but could produce maybe a little bit of light freezing rain. And also mainly across the plateau, but also the possibility of some light snow showers on the backside of that with that northwesterly flow. So a different situation Friday than what we just experienced because we'll get that wraparound moisture to produce snow across the higher terrain. And then Arctic air settles back in as we get into the upcoming weekend. Next week, I will tell you, we'll highlight it with your 7-day temperature trend. Next week, back to those seasonal averages. I can feel it right now. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't have a far commute. I walk like 20 feet from my house to my studio. Oh, it cuts through you this morning. So if you happen to be out and about, if you need to travel for your job, pack extra stuff in your car just to be on the safe side. You know, 'tis the season to, especially with this Arctic air, if you were to break down, get stuck for some crazy reason, and you have to walk somewhere, you want to make sure that you have plenty of extra gear with you. And again, just travel safely, but we will see improving conditions this afternoon, and then some refreezing and black ice will return tomorrow morning. Take a look at these air temperatures. These are current temperatures. So we're sub-zero across parts of the foothills of the mountains. A little bit of an inversion taking place this morning because you can see the highest peaks of the Smokies are not nearly as cold as the foothills, that cold air drainage off the mountains. But temperatures are right now 8 below in Wartburg, 8 below in Crossville, 3 degrees in Knoxville, 2 below in Dunlap. Tri-Cities is coming in at 3. Chattanooga's the warm spot right now at 12 degrees. Now, of course, we don't have much of a breeze out there, but wind chill values, 14 below right now in Cumberland County. I mean, just dangerously cold weather. And that's the kind of cold air that can induce frozen pipes. Got to realize when water freezes, it expands. And that's why pipes burst with cold air in place. All right, road temperatures, as I mentioned, are sitting right now at about 2 to 7 degrees. Those are road temperatures. And that's why I said anything that looks like it's standing water clearly is not. And it's going to be black ice. Actually, when we left our friend's house yesterday, I thought I was on wet ground because, it looked like cars had driven over it enough. I almost took a digger like 10 times just trying to get to my car. I was like, whoa, I thought that was wet. Nope. And that was actually at like 5 o'clock yesterday evening. And so it had melted throughout the day some, but that's the case here this morning. So again, black ice is going to be a major player this morning. So hopefully we don't have any accidents to get the day started. We'll highlight those TDOT cameras once again here before we wrap things up. We do have clear skies, and so that's going to lead us to abundant sunshine. Again, a little bit of the possibility of some freezing fog does exist. You can see that near downtown, up near Corrington, Strawberry Plains, Jefferson County, parts of Southern Union, even in the Anderson County, the possibility of some freezing fog this morning. And any fog that's out there is going to be freezing fog and banked up along the foothills. Could see some freezing fog this morning as well. All right, getting you out the door this morning. If you have to leave the house, and this is all you care to know, just bundle up. We're not going to have a huge warm up on the way. By noon, we're only at 17 degrees. Again, at least we have some sunshine, but fog's going to continue to build just shortly past sunrise this morning. Forecast highs today will actually be in the 20s, pushing close to the freezing mark in Chattanooga, but I don't think we'll really make it above freezing today. Yeah. That will take place tomorrow, though. All right, so forecast wind chill values this afternoon, staying in the teens and 20s. So just like yesterday, it's going to be brutally cold. Into the evening hours, we'll go from 24 by 5. Okay, that's not too terribly bad. Down to 15 degrees by 9 o'clock tonight. And we'll do it again tomorrow morning, but not nearly as cold tomorrow. Cold tomorrow morning, but warmer tomorrow afternoon. As this next little system swings its way into the area, that's going to help to boost our temperatures up just a little bit. So we'll be above freezing tomorrow. Can I get a golf clap on that? At least we'll get above freezing. So we start off tomorrow morning with, again, wind chill values running around 0 degrees, or if not below 0 for some of us. Our futurecast model will start off with clear skies tomorrow. So sunshine today, chilly, a little bit warmer tomorrow. Futurecast is seeing increasing clouds. Now, this Futurecast doesn't have a great handle. This is my in-house Futurecast with my computer model, so kind of hands tied with this. But the general idea is I think anytime after 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we could see a little bit of a wintry mix, maybe a little bit of light freezing rain, because we have a warm layer in the atmosphere and cold surface temperatures. And so as that snow, or i.e. freezing rain, falls, freezing rain is just rain, but it freezes on contact. So something we'll have to watch. I don't think that's going to be a major player whatsoever. I don't think this next system is going to be a major player, but we will see some wraparound snow showers that I'll highlight in a moment. Hey, look at that. We'll make it to near 40 degrees in many locations around town tomorrow. So that's going to be nice. Heading into our Thursday night, Friday morning, again, we'll see that system kind of swing its way on through. I don't think this model forecast has a great handle on it. I think it's just highlighting the fact that it's going to be really, really light. And then those northwest winds set up shop. So Friday, I think we'll have our high temperatures first thing in the morning, and then temperatures are likely to come down throughout the day as this Arctic air mass starts to settle on in. When you look at precipitation in general, whether it be in the form of rain and or freezing rain and or snow, you can clearly see that our forecast for precipitation is not a lot. I mean, we're talking hundredths of an inch of rain, okay? So we're not talking tenths of an inch, hundredths of an inch. So very light precipitation expected. But as we head into our Thursday and more so Friday, so Thursday night and Friday, watch this. We'll start to see a little bit of wraparound of moisture in the form of some light snow because it's going to be so cold. This will likely stick and create icy conditions once again as we wake up on Saturday morning. So something to keep in mind. But we'll keep you posted and see how the models handle this one as we progress through time. It is only Wednesday, so we've got a couple days to really modify the forecast. Is it trending up? Is it trending down in precipitation? It's not been trending very high in precipitation at all anyways, and so that's good because that increases our confidence that it's not going to be a huge weather maker. All right, so 26 degrees today, 38 tomorrow. We'll still stay above freezing on Friday, but I do think that that's going to be Friday morning. As it stands right now, depending on the timing of the system. So I do anticipate Friday afternoon to be even colder than that. Big picture pattern, we do have those wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings across the entire region. Forecast highs around the region. All right, so we're going to be in the 20s and 30s. Most of us are going to be below freezing if you have any travel plans. And if you have travel plans along the Interstate 40 or 81, the interstates seem to be doing just fine. So the TDOT crews, hats off to those gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. They have done an amazing job with the infrastructure and the road conditions here around town, trying their best to clear them, to ice them, or to salt them as well. All right, forecast afternoon wind chills will be in the teens and single digits across the Great Lakes and the mountains as well. But most of us across the state will be in the teens and 20s. Lows tonight back into the single digits and teens. You can see parts of East Tennessee are going to be even colder because we have that cold air drainage, and wind chill values tomorrow morning back into the single digits. So a couple more cold mornings, but then we warm above freezing tomorrow. So a nice little push of slightly warmer air. but here comes that next little storm system. This is a broad brush weather model, just kind of hinting at the fact that, okay, yeah, I think we'll have a chance for maybe a little bit of light snow. I think that's going to be the best bet. Light snow Friday night, or through the day on Friday into Friday night and Saturday morning. And so you can see by Friday night, that system starts to exit the area, and then cold Canadian high pressure builds its way back in. Futurecast accumulating snowfall. If you have travel plans around the region, the snow will start to increase across the Great Lakes as we head through the day on Thursday. And it's not going to be there until Friday that we'll get that wraparound moisture for us. A little bit of light freezing rain possible over into West Tennessee as well. So your temperature trend, as I promised, we'll see those temperatures climb back to those seasonal averages next week. That's going to be so nice. I mean, that's going to be like, wear shorts. I mean, after this cold weather, all right, let me just pull out the shorts because, it's all relative. When you've been in the Arctic tundra for a couple of days, 50 degrees is going to feel amazing. And so it'll be good weather to get outside, but those morning lows are not going to be amazing. And again, as we get into the weekend, remember, frozen pipes are a possibility. So make sure that you do all the safety precautions to keep those pipes from bursting, because that's the last thing we want to do. I do want to share some amazing photos and video. This was in Campbell County just the other day with Landon Ford, took his drone up there. And is this not just the most amazing view? I love drone views. That's why I like to fly, because in general aviation, you don't fly at high altitudes. You fly at low altitudes. So it gives you just a great perspective of what our environment looks like, what our community looks like, what the terrain looks like. And that's what drones do as well. So cool shot there, Landon. Thanks for passing that along. How about this one? Julie Ward repping from Hamlin County. A little East Tennessee weather right there. So, Julie, thanks for purchasing that. We've got some snow angels. This is in Claiborne County. My kids were out there doing snow angels yesterday. My kid was like, why is the snow crunchy now? It was soft when it first fell, but now it's got a crunchy layer on top. Yeah, well, thanks to the Arctic air. So hopefully you captured these on social media. If you didn't, that's why I'm showing them to you right now. Lily Grove in Tazewell. Dave McKinney also taking a drone up and seeing that. Aw, I love family photos. How about Vince Lewis family from Hardin Valley? Kim Pennington sent that one in. Cute there, and who doesn't like to have fun sledding down the hills? The hills were just packed with sledders all through the day yesterday. We got some cute little sledders right there. Heather Clenard sent that one in from Newmarket. I mean, the incredible amounts of snow that we saw and that are still out there is just mind-blowing to me. Again, we saw, generally speaking, we saw anywhere from 4 to even reports of 10 to 11 inches of snow. Just incredible. This one's going down in the books for sure. Blizzard to 93. We had, 2016. And then this one, those are like the big ones, right? I wasn't here for 93, but I was here for 16. And obviously for this one. And then who doesn't like this? A dog just just pouncing in the snow. My dog is the what's the right word? She does not like snow. She doesn't like cold. She has like 0 body fat. She weighs 9 pounds. You put her outside and she like just starts shivering like crazy. So, by the way, I shared that shot with Julie Ward with the East Tennessee weather shirt. So if you are interested in any merch, I've got hats and shirts available. You can just message me, shop@easttnweather.com, mike@easttnweather.com. Put your name, address, size, and color. We'll have a conversation, and I'll get some of that to you. So anyways, we sure hope you're having a great day. All right. So did anybody take care of their pipes, i.e. open the cupboards, let the hot air in? Did you keep your temperatures up in your house? Are you doing the safety precautions to keep your pipes from bursting? And what are you doing to stay warm? Kimberly says, boy, it ain't cold. Kimberly? Oh, I read that wrong. Sorry. Let me get my vocabulary and my reading skills together. Oh boy, ain't it cold, says Kimberly. Totally read that one wrong. All right, anyway, so good morning, Julie. Julie, nice shirt there, by the way. She's on the chat this morning, so hats off for Julie for repping some East Tennessee weather gear in the snowstorm yesterday. Okay, so Pat says, good morning. Mike, Google says it's 1 degrees below here in La Follette. Yep. Wait a second, Pat. We have an issue. Why are you going to Google for your weather forecast when you're right here with me? Do you not have the East Tennessee weather app? What does your East Tennessee weather app say? Let's see what mine says. What does yours say in your community? Go to the app. Mine says where I live. Actually, I think I have mine set to the airport, but mine says 4 degrees. 4. a whopping 4 degrees. Isn't that just nuts? And the wind chill value right now is 5 below. 5 below per the East Tennessee weather app. Let's see what else we got going in here. We did. So Becky says, yeah, we actually did. Pipes still froze. But Becky, do you have an issue with your pipes? Oh no. Do you have water damage? Becky, let me know about that. And if you do, hit Mold Doctors USA up. They're a sponsor of this morning's live. They'll come help you 24/7 if you haven't already fixed it already. Open the cabinets and cozy at 68 degrees, says Julie. Good for you. Yeah, we opened the cabinets at our house as well. So Amanda said yes. She opened up her cabinets and the water dripped all night long. Also had temp-controlled heater in the bathroom facing the wall because that's where the main water pipe is, and it gets most weather exposure, and that's key. That is key. Any of those outside pipes, they're more exposed, and if they don't have a lot of insulation around them, that's where we get the problems. It's not always the internal ones. It's the ones like that line the house. Challenger Chris says it's flurrying in Pigeon Forge. Is it really? We'll take a look at that weather camera. Just kind of ringing out the atmosphere, and that's probably it's flurries, but it's probably that fog that's forming that I talked about. Just so some low clouds, and we're just ringing out the atmosphere. You got to realize the colder the air is, the less moisture it holds. So as it stays cold, it precipitates like little flurries, little ice crystals. I love it. I think it's so cool. So Tiffany says she opened up all of her stuff. Probably going to have a high water bill. Well, not if it's just a drip, but better than a busted pipe, she says, and amen to that. So Kimberly opened up her cabinets as well, so good for you guys. Good for taking the precautions because ain't nobody want a busted pipe. So let's see. Good morning from Powell. It is now 6.7 degrees below zero, Tom says. This is just nuts. Snow blind is no joke, says Buck. Yeah, wear sunglasses. It actually can hurt your eyes, That's why you have to wear goggles and sunglasses skiing, because that reflection from the snow can actually hurt your eyes. Brian says doors open and water dripping. Better be your cabinet doors there, Brian, not your back door. And so we'll have to do that again this weekend, by the way. So if you're just whatever precautions you're doing now, or if you did not do them, you're going to have to do it this weekend because, again, low temperatures are going to be back into the single digits. Denise says she walked her pup at 6. Burr. No, not just burr, Denise. Like, it is bone-chilling cold. It cuts right through you. Now, I didn't even put on my jacket, and you just walk outside, and it literally cuts through you. You got to think about the people that work outside in this. And I don't know about you, but I don't know about your trash service. But, of course, trash service has been delayed, due to the roads. They can't get into the neighborhoods. And they don't want to get stuck. And it's dangerous for them, right? So I don't know about your trash service, but mine has been delayed for a couple of days. But nice that the trash service company sent out the push alerts and the notifications through email and whatnot and the phone calls to let us know. So Brian said he dripped the kitchen faucet and kept the doors open. Again, hopefully not the back door. Also placed a 100-watt incandescent light in the dish clamp fixture under the house pointed up at the water line. Oh, that's a smart idea. I know I have a crawl space in mine. That's not a bad idea. Although my basement, no matter what, I'll be curious to go down there today. My basement, or like the crawl space area, no matter what, it's like a cave. It stays fairly 55 to 57-ish. Even in the middle of summer. Oh, man. All right, let's see what else we got. And you're welcome, Amanda. Thanks for joining us this morning. So Challenger Chris says, yeah, with my brick house, I have kept the kitchen sink and cabinets open. Yeah, I've also got a brick house, but it's those not brick houses that have the siding on them. Those are the ones that could have an issue for sure. Donna says she's going to stay put in Morristown. Your neighborhood's not been touched, and you got, what did you end up with in Donna? I think you guys ended up with like 8.5 inches of snow. My neighborhood has also not been touched, and I've got 2 giant steep hills, so I was a little nervous trying to get in and out of it, but not nervous, but more adventurous. Again, I'm from Colorado, so it doesn't bother me one single bit. If I can't make it up the hill, you just back down the hill, and you just go slow down the hills, right? Brian says, I'm looking for a weather station. Do you have any suggestions for me? Yeah, Tempest or Davis. Tempest, Brian, or Davis weather stations. Tempest is cool. It's new. It uses that hypnotic, like when you with our cell phones, the hypnotic touch. It uses that as a sensor for rainfall. I'm not quite sure how it measures snowfall because it doesn't have like rain buckets or anything, so I'm not quite sure how that works. But it has some cool AI technology with it that will give you forecasts and whatnot. Don't rely on that, Brian, if you go buy that. But yeah, Tempest and Davis weather stations are probably the best that I know of as of right now. I have to say, I would give a big shout out to so many of you. So because I put the live cameras up over the last couple of days, like during the channel and just streamed them live, I got a lot of you reaching out, some small business owners reaching out. So now here I go. I'm going to start fielding. If you've messaged me, I will get to those messages. I got a slew of them. So I'm going to field through those, and we're going to install more weather cameras in the coming days, in the coming months. Remember, I got a new website coming, and hopefully if we can get these weather cameras live, they will be live on the website, the app, which will be amazing, right here on the channel as well. And so that's the goal. And so if you are interested in a weather camera, they are 100% free. You can install them. I'll come install them myself. That's what I've been doing. But I just want a camera in every county. That's the goal. At least one camera in every county. I cover, 25, 28 counties, something like that. So if I can get at least 28 cameras up, that would be amazing. Just kind of help tell the weather story. Think about it. During severe weather season, during snow season, it just tells a story. And then you can go highlight those. But again, one of my biggest pushes is golf courses and marinas. So if you know any marina owners or golf course owners, it looks like I may get one up into Greenville in Greene County. There's a private golf course up there. Haven't had a chance to connect with him, but I know he wants one. And there's a couple other marinas and golf courses that want one as well. Let's see. Donna says it's -4 where you live. Tiffany's starting to get a little stir crazy. Me too. You know what was for dinner last night? One of my favorites. Grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup. Probably one of my favorite things in the world. Hey, by the way, nobody ever sent me a recipe for tomato pie, although I'll go to Pinterest if I need to. I didn't know if you had like a solid family history tomato pie. We also had tomato gravy and we talked about chocolate gravy the other day. Never did that, but this sounds like a great idea. The kids would like it. I don't do chocolate. I'll do chocolate a little bit if it's like sea salt, like, the salted chocolate, or if it has another flavor to it. But if it's just plain chocolate, I typically stay away from it. Not a huge fan. Buck says it's 0 again on Saturday. Yep. He's going on vacation. Can't come soon enough to some warm sunshine. We are all jealous, Buck, but I hope you send us some photos so we can pass that along and be like, oh. At least we can try to warm up from those pictures. Let's see what else we got going on here. Just so nice to see you all this morning. Thanks for the conversation. Do appreciate it. If you're joining me on Roku or Amazon Fire, obviously you can't add to the conversation on those platforms, but you can come to social media and join me. If you don't have the Roku TV app, download it to Roku. I'm going to be highlighting some businesses that are starting to put up East Tennessee weather in the businesses, so you're going to start to see that a little bit more on social media because I want to highlight the businesses that are highlighting me and helping me out. All right, husband left for work. He and my son have been out working in this snow for the last 2 days. Glad your son got home as well, Tiffany. So glad hope everybody is safe. Hopefully everyone's staying warm. Cold in Newport, but the gauge says it's 13 degrees. A little bit warmer there. Because cold air is dense. The colder it is, the more dense it is, and it's like water because the atmosphere is like a liquid, and so it just sinks. When you pour water on a table, it goes to the lowest area, least resistant, lowest area. That's what the air does as well, and so that sinks to the lowest area. So you get cold air drainage right along rivers and lakes and valleys of mountains. That's where the cold air just sinks. It's super heavy. So if you have warmer temperatures, maybe you're a little bit higher in elevation. Maybe there's other locations that the cold air is sinking to. Maria says her East Tennessee weather app says 4 degrees at her location. Oh, Maria, they're waiting for their house to be built, so they're living in a camper right now. Well, I hope your camper is like one of those nicer campers that has, TVs, fridges, stoves, and ovens, and good solid heaters. But she says blankets are my friend right now. 1 degree in South Knoxville right now. Water dripped all night long, says Felicia, and we are all snowed in. Road was white ice, not black ice. Jessica says, I can't imagine working out in this. Nor can I. Nor can I. I think about people all the time doing what I do. I think about everybody that works outside on a day-to-day basis, whether it be the mail or UPS carriers, USPS, whatever, whether it be people just doing infrastructure. Well, think about power outages. Thank goodness we didn't really have any to this system, but think about power outages or people fixing frozen pipes or fixing heaters. Like, just awful. Awful. So hats off to you if you are working out in the elements, because, and I know you acclimate to it a little bit. You do acclimate to it. I'm in a studio every day, so when I go outside, I'm a little bit colder than if I were to work outside all day. That's just being part of acclimated to it. But the folks that work out in it every day are at least a little bit more acclimated, but it's still dangerous. I mean, wind chills are a major problem. You got to realize any exposed skin right now, for anybody working outside, 30 minutes can get you frostbite with these kind of temperatures. 30 minutes, that's it. On exposed skin. I mean, that is 30 minutes is not very long. Dottie says, we are as snug as a bug. Been in since Sunday. Water dripping. Good for you. Way to take precautions on that. Jessica says about 9 inches in Talbot. The road is ice and covered. So, Britt, yeah, you live kind of tucked back in there up on Norris Lake. He's like, I don't dare leave my place. So you're going to be hunkered down for a while. He's retired anyway, so go out and enjoy some of that. Tell me if you, by the way, Britt, tell me if you have any fog along the lake, along Norris Lake right now. I'd be curious to see if there is. Pam's getting some cabin fever. Jessica says, what is tomato gravy? I don't know. I've had it, I think, once before at a restaurant. I don't know. Somebody else explain here on the chat what tomato gravy is. Tomato pie is amazing. I love tomato pies. Challenger Chris says, what's with the extreme temp differences? Is that what you're referring to of the terrain? Yeah. Yeah, so cold air sinks. It's dense. And that's why sometimes, you probably have heard it before, sometimes we'll call for cold Arctic air to come in from the northwest, but sometimes, and cold air is really shallow too. Really shallow. Let me look at something real quick. I think we had an inversion taking shape this morning. Let me just double check. Let's see here. But cold air is really dense and shallow, so sometimes that cold Arctic air, even though we're calling for it, cannot get up over the plateau. And so sometimes the plateau in, like, say, places like Cookeville will be extremely cold. We saw that last year where the plateau and just to the west of us, we had freezing rain. We had ice for several days. I remember that event. And that cold Arctic air just never spilled into the valley. Because remember, the air is liquid. It's water. And so actually the only way you can really see that take place is like when you see fog or clouds come up over the mountains, you see them spilling, like time lapses, spilling, and then it's a downsloping effect, and so you get a warm and compressing air in that situation. But let's see. We do have a small inversion taking place. Well, we have a little bit one at the surface, then so we get warmer just a little bit above the surface, and then it gets colder above that, and then it gets a little bit warmer as well above that. So really above, that's why I was saying the mountains are actually warmer this morning. A little bit, about 5,000 feet. They're warmer. They're sitting at about, about 10 degrees. Well, let's see. What is that? Well, that's Celsius, but, and we're Fahrenheit. But anyways, the peaks of the mountains are actually warmer than we are in the lower areas. And so if you have a little bit of elevation gain, then you're going to be warmer, and then it's going to get colder as you come down the mountain. So Kay says she has a great tomato pie recipe. Send it my way. Either throw it on this chat or email it to me, Kay. Put it on the chat so everybody else can have it if you're willing to share, or email it to me at mike@eastnweather.com. So Carol says, Mike, I need help with road conditions getting from the airport to Powell. I'm flying in this morning, arriving at 2 p.m. today. Any help will greatly appreciated. I will tell you this, Carol. I think the roads will be fine by the time you get here. We're going to have more sunshine. We're going to see a little bit more thawing today. Now, your neighborhood, probably not. I don't know where you live. Let's see. Did you say that? I don't know where you live. You said Powell. Your neighborhood's probably not going to be great, but getting to your neighborhood probably will be just fine. I think we're going to get a lot more melting today. T-Dot crews are going to be out there again today. So I think just helping to mitigate any of the stuff that, any of the ice today. It's interesting. Yesterday they plowed, and when they plow certain streets, I heard Kingston Pike that they plowed. And you know how we have all these neighborhoods off of Kingston Pike? They plowed it. Of course, they got to clear the main road, but then it piles up on the entrances to the neighborhoods. And I heard that people were just getting stuck left and right, and they couldn't get in or out of their neighborhoods because TDOT had plowed up the cameras. Or the city crews. I don't know if it was TDOT, but it was the city crews anyways doing plowing. Hats off to the city crews, communities, city crews from any of our communities, and of course TDOT taking care of the main roads. I think they did a great job. Let's see. Lee says tomato pie is great. I got a good recipe from Paula Dean. I go by Paula Dean's. So tomato gravy is delicious. Homemade biscuits. I have a family recipe that's incredible. It's an Alabama staple where I grew up. So Melinda, if you're willing to share that tomato gravy recipe, let us know. Put it on the chat here. So everyone, if you're willing to share. Cheryl had grilled cheese soup and tomato sandwiches grilled cheese and tomato soup last night. That's what we had last night as well. It's just one of my favorites. And the funny thing is I actually don't need a lot of tomato soup. I just needed enough to dip my sandwich in. That's all I do. I just dip my sandwich in it. So Missy says, good morning, Mike. Never heard to leave the cabinets open. Well, let me show you something here real quick. I'll highlight something. I got some cool weather graphics to share. So let me get that here. Go back to the weather maps. I think I have it right here. I might have to reset my show. Yeah, let me reset this real quick. So stand by for that because I got some cool graphics to highlight for you that really explains what we're talking about, why you should open the cabinets. So let's talk about it. Can you see that on the screen there? Yeah, here we go. All right, here we go. So frozen pipes are an issue. So anytime you get temperatures near or below 20 degrees, that's when we get the best setup for seeing frozen pipes. And so that cold air is beating on the outside of the house, okay? So with that cold air beating on the outside of the house, the hazards can be the pipes that will freeze, right? Especially on the outsides of the house. And if you don't have a brick house, you're even more exposed. But the water expands. So as the water gets colder and starts freezing, it expands. And so these pipes can only take so much. And so that's what can cause the biggest issues as the expansion of the water. So things to consider. Outside temperatures, obviously we're cold enough. It's got to be below 20 degrees. Direct exposure to the cold and effectiveness of the wall insulation. So obviously our pipes that are on the outside of our walls are insulated. But listen, if you have an older house, it's not a brick house, you have, insulation breaks down over time. When last year, I renovated our bonus room by myself, and I tore it down to the studs, or put new insulation in. But when I took the insulation out, I mean, it wasn't stud to stud. It was old. It was crumbly. So literally, it did not even have very good effectiveness. When I replaced it, A, that room stayed a lot colder, and B, it stays a lot warmer in the winter and summer months. So here are some prevention tips. Adds the insulation to the cold-prone areas. Or like some here on the chat, they put heaters on the main pipes, like underneath the house or whatnot. Add specific products to the pipes. You can insulate those pipes a little bit more. They make those foam sleeves that you can get at the like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatnot. And so those are always good things. So maybe just a good idea to go check around your house over the next couple of days to see if you have any exposed pipes, because we are talking about single digits to be returning as we get into the weekend. Keep the heat on. Well, duh. Obviously, we're going to keep the heat on. Let's state the obvious, right? But open the cabinets to help to warm the pipes up. So when you keep the heat on in your house, when you have the cupboard doors closed, you can't get as much heat from your internal part of your house into those cupboards. So if you open the cupboard doors, it allows the air temperature of your whole house to get into those cupboards and help keep those pipes warmer. And so that really helps to mitigate it. And so that's really the story there. And then also some other prevention tips to think about. Allow cold water to drip from your faucets. Not hot water. You need to do cold water. And just a little bit of drip will keep that water flowing through the system. When you have stagnant water, it's not moving anywhere, then it's more likely to freeze. But if you have movement, just like rivers, they don't freeze as frequently as standing water does because it's actually moving water. Also, cover exposed spigots, obviously remove and drain and store any outdoor hoses. That's key for sure. Listen, I have to check my kids all the time because, even when it warms up to 50 degrees or something like that, they're out there playing with the water. Just, being kids, being kids. But when we get these cold airs, I have to every time they do that, I have to go out and make sure that they unhook the hose because that hose will freeze pretty quickly. That will come into your spigot, freeze your spigot, and then again, you can have a burst pipe there. So hopefully that answered your question, Misty. Morristown's 3 degrees, 1 below right now where Ben is. And Ben, you're in Powell, right? I think you're in Powell. And by the way, we need to get together. So big shout out to the Williams family this morning. They live on some beautiful property. Just gorgeous. Kathy says, good morning, Mike. I am chilly. This was fun for a while, but I'm getting over it now. And she was out shoveling yesterday. She's my neighbor across the street. Big shout out to Kathy this morning. And Kathy, I'll get you all those links. She texted me and said, I need all of your links so I can pass it along to the ladies at church so they can follow you on social media and downloading the East Tennessee weather app. Missy says it's 4 below right now in Andersonville. Good morning, Andersonville. My weather station in Powell, Kay says 0. Maria says it's a new camper, so thank goodness for that. You're fortunate for sure because we would not be camping in our little tiny camper. It's a 1982 pop-up tent trailer that my wife grew up in. Her parents gave it to us when they were going to get rid of it. And this thing's like the size of this computer screen. Like it's tiny. It's kind of the camper I grew up in too. As the kids are getting older, it's time to upgrade, I think, because we love camping. We love going to the campsites. We love doing camp walks. One of my favorite things at nighttime camping is walking around, saying hi to everybody, and taking a nice little camp walk. And that, of course, and having a fire in the fire pit. So Judy says, I thought I would like chocolate gravy, but I do not. After trying it, was it gross? That doesn't sound good to me. I don't even know really what it was. Somebody sent me a message, but... so Melinda says, tomato gravy is basically a roux made with flour, butter. Yeah, I know what a roux is for sure. And then you add fresh canned tomatoes. That's kind of irony, right? Fresh canned tomatoes. Canned tomatoes, salt and pepper, serve over homemade biscuits. It'll change your life, she says. I mean, that doesn't sound bad. Add butter to anything. It's going to be good. Maybe could you throw some bacon on top of that? That'd probably add a little bit of dynamic to it. Maybe throw some sausage, some breakfast sausage. Maybe that'd be good. Biscuits and gravy sounds amazing. MW King says, come join me as we feed our cattle herd this morning. Oh, my goodness. Where are you? I've got a buddy on a farm in Corrington. They have sheep and horses. And then, of course, because they have outdoor animals, they've got to keep heaters on the troughs so the troughs don't freeze, so the animals can get water. I don't know why I've left that up there. Let's go back to the cameras just while we sit here and chat. Might as well have some cameras on screen. Oh, look at that beautiful sunrise taking shape. Okay, see what I'm talking about. Look at the fog forming. Let me just take some of these full. Let's just go over these cameras once again because this is showing the fog right now. Along the rivers. And that's what I was saying. Along the rivers, we could see rivers and lakes. We could see some dense fog. I'm going to take these cameras full here. So that's Hardin Valley. Gorgeous view right there in Hardin Valley. We'll zoom the camera in so you can get a better perspective there. Isn't that great? I'll take a look at the East Tennessee weather camera. That's the neighborhood, my friends. That's what a lot of neighborhoods look like this morning. Foxborough Marina. So we are, look at that. That's foggy. So here, watch this. I'm going to pan the camera. I'll pan the camera so you can get a better, we'll get a better perspective of what the off in the distance looks like. So that's looking at the marina, Foxborough Marina. Watch this as I pan the camera. It is foggy. So that is going to be freezing fog. That is freezing fog this morning. Boy. All right, let's take a look at from the shed in Maryville. Let me pan this camera. Let's see what the sunrise looks like from that area. So I can pan these cameras live on screen. So we'll come here. And we're going to go like this. Ready? Watch this view. Let's see if we can get this awesome sunrise view from the Maryville camera. Isn't that so nice looking? Nice and cold, huh? We'll clear that up for you. I mean, crystal clear, snowy, cold. I have music on still here this morning with my camera shots. I'll turn that down. I apologize. Gatlinburg Brewing, we'll pan that camera as well. Let's take a look at that because I know that camera is pointed at the road. So that camera is pointed at the road, but let's change that view and take a look at the Smokies here. We'll pan it out. Again, a little bit of light snow there. That's the view from the Gatlinburg camera. That's at Gatlinburg Brewing. So we still have some clouds, and so these clouds and some fog still could precipitate just a little bit. Going to downtown Gatlinburg, snowy for sure, but let's go ahead and get a different view from that downtown Gatlinburg camera because I can pan that camera, and we'll show you a couple views there. Let's see. How about this? Let's see. I think the camera got moved with the wind. It did. It got moved with the wind. So here, let me just move it a little bit. Look at that view right there. Oh, is that not gorgeous? If you're going to be doing some skiing or sledding up at Ober Mountain or any of the ski resorts in the southeastern U.S., it is one of those mornings where you need to dress in, no matter what you're doing, you need to dress in layers. Let's go to Strawberry Plains Pike, see what it looks like over there in Strawberry Plains here this morning. Good morning, Strawberry Plains, and anybody on the western side, northwestern side of downtown Knoxville. So the roads look fairly good on Strawberry Plains Pike, and a nice crystal clear start to the day. Maynardville, cool shot there. Let's go ahead and pan that camera up a little bit in Maynardville, get a better view there. Again, these cameras are going to be coming up soon, hopefully soon, live to the East Tennessee Weather app. Let's take a look at this sunrise. Big shout out to Maynardville this morning. Gorgeous view of the sunrise, but a cold one for sure. And we'll go to Volunteer Marina, just up and down Alcoa Highway. And how about that one? Anybody want to go take a boat ride this morning? I think not. Some are having to go out and feed their cattle. M.W. King. So BRS Nanny says, tell everyone to take care of their pets. Bring them in now. No way. Too cold for them. Yeah, if you have outdoor pets, hopefully you provided them with some sort of shelter and warmth. There are outdoor pets. Again, my buddy who has a farm, he has sheep. They have outdoor pets to monitor the sheep and keep the sheep safe. Now, they have a nice warm, well, not warm, but they have, a big old barn that they try to keep with heaters and try to keep it as warm as they can. But yeah, it is bone chilling. 3 degrees below zero right now in Friendsville with a wind chill value of 8 below, says Rhonda. Thanks for that. So Connie made a grilled cheese in the air fryer, and it worked. All right. Then you mitigate the butter, right? Let's see what else we got in here. What is it in Jacksboro, Tennessee? Cindy says. I don't know. What does the East Tennessee Weather app say in Jacksboro, Tennessee? I'm not there. Come on, Cindy. Have you not downloaded the East Tennessee Weather app yet? You got to. Then you could just open it up and it'll tell you what the temperature is. But it's probably 0, if not colder than that, and probably anywhere from about 5 to 10 degrees below 0. Quarantine is now 3 degrees below 0. Good morning, Quarantine. Cody says it's -3 in Huntsville, Scott County. When will we warm up, says Stephanie. Well, we're going to have a little bump of those temperatures tomorrow. Above freezing tomorrow afternoon, but it doesn't last long because, remember, temperatures will fall again on Friday. I'll go back to the weather maps for those folks just now joining us. Got a lot of folks on here this morning, so thanks for joining us for the conversation. This is Wake Up with Witcher. Grab your cup of coffee. Listen, my kid slept on the couch last night. He wanted to sleep on the couch. He's being adventurous. He doesn't have school. He's like, can I sleep on the couch again? I'm like, fine, I don't care. Let kids be kids. So I don't have coffee because I didn't want to wake him up. I had to tiptoe out of the house. So I've got an energy drink, Celsius Live Fit. I don't know what that is. They're not a sponsor of the show. That's just what we had. Sure could use a hot cup of cocoa or coffee this morning. You know what's really interesting? So Mike Stevens Homes built this East Tennessee Weather, the Weather Center, right? The studio. And they foam sprayed, insulated this entire place. The ceilings, the walls, all the walls. I will tell you that if you ever need to foam spray or want to up your insulation, do the foam spray. Hands down, if I were to ever build a house again or redo a house, I will foam spray the heck out of that. Why? Because this is the first day this winter that I probably didn't have to turn on the heater. I have a mini split. I probably didn't have to turn it on, but it was a little chilly. But I have not had to because with my computers, they produce a lot of heat, and the insulation is so good that I didn't even have to turn on the heater until this morning. Now I've got it set to 72 degrees in here. All right, let's go over current wind chill values this morning. Let's see. Let me clear this back out. We'll go over some current conditions again. We'll go over the 7-day forecast again. So a little bump of those temperatures. I will say next week we will see much, much warmer temperatures. We're going to be back close to those seasonal averages. Look at the big impacts across the entire country with wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings. Current temperatures right now as you step outside. Let's see if I can get those up. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? There we go. Current. Come on, current temperatures. Where are you? Well, I don't know where my current temperatures went. I was gonna oh, they're there. There they are. Okay. So remember, wind chill advisory is still in play until noon today. These are current temperatures, 4 below in La Follette. So where were you asking? I think somebody was asking about La Follette. So 4 below in La Follette, 1 in Knoxville, 9 below in Maynardville. We have 9 or 10 degrees from Dayton to Chattanooga, so cold for sure. Those are just air temperatures, and then you factor in a little bit of a breeze. Doesn't take much, but it's 14 degrees below zero right now in Cumberland County. Nuts. You know what else I think about? Not just the people that work outside. I think about the homeless constantly. Constantly in situations like this. Could you even imagine being homeless right now? Not even close. So give those folks that work outside a break. Because, man, I tell you what. Felicia says Alaska needs to take their weather back. Let's see. Terry's got 4 below at her house at the new Amazon facility in Knoxville. Oh, near the new Amazon facility in Knoxville. So northwest Knox. No, that would be East Knox, northeast Knox. Dan B is making biscuits and gravy. Is this Dan B, like Dan Black B? I have a friend named Dan Black, but I don't know if that's him on here. I think it is. So Susan says freezing fog. Yeah, we've had freezing fog out there. That's going to be an issue. Let's check in on visibility, see if the visibility has worsened for some areas. Not necessarily, but freezing fog could be a major issue to get the day started. I'll take you back out to some of those TDOT cameras, and we'll see if we have any fog showing up in some of those fog-prone areas along the rivers, Alcoa Highway. A lot of times we'll get freezing fog, so I'll check in on that here in a moment. We're still getting even a little bit of light flurry activity, and yes, some freezing fog. So bridges and overpasses are going to be an issue here to get the day started. So I'll go back to the TDOT cameras. That's Alcoa Highway and Cumberland Avenue. Notice off in the distance, you have that fog sitting right along the Tennessee River. That right there just looks nasty. Does it not? Looks nasty. Let's go a little bit further south on Alcoa Highway, right there at Alcoa and Cherokee. Again, you can see that fog off in the distance. Not necessarily a lot of fog right where the camera is. We'll go to Hall of Fame and Summit Hill. And so you can see that thin layer of fog off in the distance. Here's the other thing. You know what else is going to increase throughout the day today? Static electricity. The drier the air is, the more static electricity that we have in the air. And so with the air extremely dry, because Arctic air is extremely dry, we're gonna have some issues with static electricity. I've already shocked myself like 5 times. Every time I walk over to the weather wall, I have carpet on down or a rug, and I walk back to the weather center to continue to do what I'm doing. And I touch the computer, I get shocked every single time. Every time this morning. So that's live look there at 40 and Holston Hills. So traffic and volume. You can see the roads, the interstates are relatively dry. Come out a little bit further. Let's go to, there we go. Okay, so this is something I want to point out this morning. Anybody traveling over bridges and overpasses? So bridges and overpasses stay colder. They have the cold air. They don't have the earth to keep them warmer. So bridges and overpasses actually can be significantly colder than actually the roads like down below it. And so you can see that bridge right there at the Strawberry Plains. So Interstate 40 near Strawberry Plains Pike. It's snowpacked. and it is icy because it cannot warm up. It doesn't have anything to warm it up. We'll come out to Kodak. Let's come out to Kodak, exit 407. Let's take a look at traffic out there. Again, just see how things are moving along this morning. See if we can't get that camera to operate. We cannot. Let's go to a different one. This is exit 407. And not too bad. Not too bad there. It's really going to be along the rivers and lakes. We'll come down to Alcoa Highway. We've got some a little bit further south. So this is... So that's not available. Let's see if it is. Sometimes they are. Maybe not. Nope. Come down a little bit further. See if there's any fog along Alcoa Highway. If anybody's traveling between Knox and Blount County. And now you will run into some fog along the rivers. And in any of those little inlets area. That's not working either. We'll come down by the airport. This is Hunt Road and Alcoa Highway. Load. Either it's my internet. No, it can't be my internet. That's impossible. That's not working. So let's come down. We'll come down Pellissippi Parkway. Oh, stop it. Come down Pellissippi Parkway near the lakes. So we don't have any fog there, but look at the abundant sunshine. So this sunshine is going to help to, well, not necessarily warm us up a whole lot today, but the sunshine is going to help throughout the day today. So hopefully that helps. So, hey, Dan. That is Dan. That's my friend Dan. He lives down in Monroe County, helping me to get a camera there in Madisonville. Right, Dan? Just haven't had a chance to get down there. We're working on a different element, so once I get this figured out, we'll be installing a lot more cameras around East Tennessee. No, it is not Dan Black. Maybe not. I don't know. I didn't get a full answer. I thought it was, and then it wasn't. Then he's like, no, that's not. It is Dan. I don't know. Either way, we've got warmer temperatures in Northwest Virginia than it is in Knoxville. Stay warm. Well, I hope everybody stays warm as well. I'll go through the weather maps one more time, and then we'll head it off to, we'll end this segment for the day today, and we sure hope you enjoy it. All right. So, again, bone-chilling temperatures. Remember, we have wind chill values right now, sub-zero in many locations. Wind chill advisory runs all the way through noon today, and will maybe issued once again as we get into the upcoming weekend, and maybe overnight tonight. We'll see with the Weather Service. I haven't checked to see if they have added one again for tomorrow morning. Now, we're not looking at a lot of wind, but it is definitely, it doesn't take much wind with these kind of temperatures. So all of us are sitting right around zero, some below, some slightly above. Not much of a warm up. We're going to be right around 17 by noon. Our goal today, still below freezing. Knoxville will still be about 6 degrees below freezing, and this is still 20 degrees below average. Average highs are in the mid to upper 40s. Wind chill values this afternoon, teens and low 20s. Evening forecast, forget it. I don't want to go out this evening. But it is only Wednesday. It's hump day. 15 degrees by 9 o'clock here tonight. Lows back down into the single digits and teens. But see, remember what I said, cold air is dense and heavy. So look at the valley versus the plateau and the mountains. Plateau and mountains will be warmer. We'll actually have temps in the low to mid teens, while the valley location tomorrow morning will be in the single digits. That's that cold air draining, because the plateau is higher, the mountains are higher, and the valley sits at about 800 feet above sea level, give or take. So that's that cold air drainage that's going to be with us overnight tonight. We'll actually talk about that tomorrow morning on Wake Up with Witcher. All right. Thanks, Dan, for texting me and let me know that was you. All right, remember now, as we wrap up this week, Thursday and Friday, we do have another little weather maker that's going to be moving its way on in. Could produce a little bit of light freezing rain. It's on the cusp of some freezing rain for the plateau. I don't think we'll see a lot, but I do think that we have a chance for some light flurry activity and some light rain showers, but a cold rain at that. Temperatures Thursday are above freezing. Finally, so somebody was asking on the chat, are we going to get above freezing? Yes, tomorrow afternoon. A little bit of a wintry mix Thursday night into Friday morning. Then through the day on Friday, we may see a little bit of wraparound light snow showers. Not expecting a lot. We don't have a lot of precipitation with this system. When you look at rainfall accumulations, now, again, it may not be all in the form of rain, but precipitation in general. I mean, we're less than a quarter of an inch. We're more so on the lines of hundredths of an inch, pushing close to about a tenth of an inch. So not expecting a lot of moisture with this one, but some wraparound moisture actually could produce some light snow showers as we head into our Friday, through the day on Friday. So Friday, I actually think our high temperature is going to be first thing in the morning. That's what the models are indicating right now. So Friday, we may start off warmer, but we will end colder. Anybody taking any bets on when the kids go back to school? Any takers? Are they going back to school tomorrow? Doubt it. Will they go on Friday with another system moving on through? Doubt it. Are they just going to give them a, let's see, right now we're sitting on a 3-day weekend? No. Yeah, they're going to have like a week and a half off. They're going to use all of their snow days this week. So hopefully we don't get another system to move its way on through. Let's talk temperatures over the next 7 days. I'll show you the temperature trend. We are trending above freezing Thursday, Friday. So maybe they'll go back to schools. We'll see what the back roads are. That's the problem. And some of those back roads, it's so windy. And so the buses can't get there. They ain't going. And with these neighborhoods not thawing out, we'll see what happens. But should start to see some big improvements, I think, by Thursday afternoon. Saturday, we're back down to 21 degrees for high temperatures. Then we climb back to those seasonal averages as we get into next week. Low temperatures will fall off right there into the single digits. So another bone-chilling cold weekend ahead of us. That's going to be the story all through the weekend. Hopefully we see some improvements as we get into next week. But it does look like it. Looks like we'll see some slightly warmer temperatures as we get into next week. Because we had so cold outside...
You're
I didn't want to
watching.
do that because it's so cold outside. I wanted to highlight this morning's sponsor once again. Today's morning Wake Up with Witcher was sponsored by Mold Doctors USA. They're a big sponsor of this show this week because of the cold air and the possibility of frozen pipes. So if you find yourself in a situation with a frozen pipe, with water damage, with water coming out of these pipes, give them a call today at 865-945-3000 or visit them online at molddoctorsusa.com. They have a 24-hour service. You can call them anytime. So if you end up with frozen pipes this morning, if you happen to wake up with the frozen pipes, maybe this weekend, give them a call. They will come out ASAP and help fix those frozen pipes up right away. They're quick and they're honest and they're affordable as well. All right, so we sure hope you have a great day. We're going to just cue the music as we head off to break. The 24-hour live stream is going to come up next. I'll leave that on for a quick second. Then we're going to take a quick break and head off to our sponsorships. And then you can tune into the 24-hour live stream via the East Tennessee Weather app, online at easttnweather.com, on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, or YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I'm going to continue to build that over the months and the years. We're going to add more elements to that where you can come and find more weather information where I do one-offs and talk about the cold air, talk about the hot air. Why does severe weather exist? Why does it get so cold? What is cold air drainage? These are the things I'm going to be adding to my YouTube channel over time. So go subscribe and click the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And again, if you have not done so, download the East Tennessee Weather app. We sure hope you have a wonderful and safe day. Try to stay as warm as you can. I'm going to go say good morning to the family, see if they're awake, get a fire going in the fireplace, and maybe kick back, relax, and enjoy some family time. My wife worked for the last couple of days. She slept at the hospital the other night, remember? And so neither of us have been around and been much parenting lately because obviously I was busy with the storm. So we're going to go do a little bit of family time here this morning and throughout the day today as well. Embrace it for what it is. By the way, be safe, be kind to each other, pass along the word. East Tennessee weather is here to stay, my friends. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for Wake Up with Witcher starting at 7 o'clock.
Hey friends, it's Cougar from Rusty Wallace Nissan on Clinton Highway. It's 2024 and I want you to save like never before. How about $5,000 off new Nissans? That's right, $5,000 off MSRP on brand new Nissans. How about our no charge 200,000 mile warranty on every new Nissan? You know that's going to be your gift from me. And what about huge trade allowances for your trade? Up and over $7,000 over book value for your trade. So come on over to Clinton Highway or shop in those New Year's socks at RustyWallaceNissan.com.
You're watching East Tennessee weather, powered by Rusty Wallace Automotive Group.
Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. Have a wonderful and safe day. If you haven't ventured out of your house yet, well, just be safe because we still have icy roads, snow-packed roads, and really this morning, the black ice is going to be a major problem around town. We are going to see all day sunshine, so grab the sunglasses. You'll need those throughout the day today. And then another weather maker moves in late Thursday into early Friday, possibly bringing us in a wintry mix across parts of East Tennessee. So we'll talk about that coming up in the next short while, but first things first, wind chill advisory has been extended until noon today. It's a bone-chilling start to the day, so getting everyone out the door this morning. Obviously, kids are out of school today, but some of you have to go back to work. And we start the morning off with temperatures hovering right around zero. As we get into the noon hour, we're only going to warm to 17 degrees at that point. And again, forecast highs this afternoon will be in the 20s, so a little bit warmer, but again, cold because we have the snow on the ground and wind chill values in the teens and low 20s all afternoon long. Into the evening hours, temperatures fall down pretty quickly. We're going to be down to 24 degrees by 5, 19 by 7, and 15 degrees by 9 o'clock here tonight. We'll continue that forecast, talk about your 3-day, and of course that big picture weather pattern. That's all coming up within the next 15 minutes. All right, once again, low temperatures tonight drop down into the single digits and teens, so another very cold start to the day. You've got to realize when we have snow on the ground, the air temperatures don't warm up much. We have to melt the snow first before we can start heating the air around us. But we're going to start Thursday morning off on the cold side, so the stage has been set once again as our next little weather maker moves its way on in. So let's talk about it. Doesn't look too terribly impressive. So Thursday, we're going to see increasing high-level clouds. Throughout the day on Thursday. I don't think we'll see much activity through the day on Thursday, but really Thursday night and Friday morning, we have a chance for a little bit of a wintry mix, a little bit of light freezing rain on the Cumberland Plateau, and then maybe some wraparound snow showers on the backside of that. Forecast highs on Thursday only make it into the 30s and 40s, but that's, I shouldn't say only. How about we actually make it into the 30s and 40s? So there's some warmer temperatures. We got that going for us, but it's short-lived because behind this system, we're going to see, well, falling temperatures and Arctic air returning as we get into the upcoming weekend. All right, so we'll highlight the possibility of some freezing rain or some snow over the next couple of days, kind of see how this all plays out. Let's just talk your 3-day forecast, though. 38 degrees on Thursday, down to 36 Friday. And as we get into the weekend, temperatures will be back down to about the low 20s. Here we go again, my friends. We sure hope you have a great day. I'll highlight the big picture weather pattern. That's coming up in just a moment. All right, well, let's go ahead and recap those weather headlines. Icy snowpack, black ice, a major issue this morning. All day sunshine, though, but with snow on the ground, it's going to be bright, so make sure you grab the sunglasses. Another weather maker moves in late Thursday into Friday, and a wintry mix is possible with the system with crashing temperatures once again heading into the upcoming weekend. Wind chill advisories continue here locally through noon today, while temperatures will make it into the 20s and some 30s and 40s to our southwest. Here around the state of Tennessee, we're going to stay in the teens and 20s for wind chill value. So another cold night ahead of us tonight. Single digits and teens across the entire region with wind chill values right around 0 degrees for many of us around the region once again. So very cold no matter where you may be traveling. Now as we get into our Thursday, nice little push of some warmer air ahead of our next storm system. And that next storm system is going to bring us a little bit of a wintry mix. So still a little bit of unknowns with this, so we'll keep you posted on that. But a wintry mix moves in late Thursday into early Friday. Friday through the day, we'll see a little bit of wraparound moisture, maybe in the form of some light snow showers across the plateau and the mountains. It doesn't look like it's going to amount to much, but definitely something that we need to watch closely as we head into our Thursday and Friday. So let's talk snowfall accumulations with the system as we track the snow up across the Great Lakes all the way through Wednesday, Thursday time frame. And then here comes our system on the back side of that wraparound moisture. So you can see the Cumberland Plateau, the mountains. We'll likely see a little bit of snow and maybe a little bit of light freezing rain for you folks on the plateau. But it shouldn't cause any major problems as it stands right now. But what it is going to do is usher in Arctic air once again. So Saturday, we're back down to 22 after a high on Friday of 36. We'll be back in the 30s. Here is some good news. The Arctic air is moving its way on out. By the first and middle part of next week, temperatures will be back closer to those seasonal averages. Low temperatures, though, on the other hand, yikes. I mean, we're talking single digits, teens, and then finally some 20s and 30s through the middle part of next week. We sure hope you have a great day. We'll bring it back down to the local level, and we're also talking about, we've got some amazing Witcher's pictures to share with you, snow photos and drone photos, or video, I should say. That's all coming up here in just a few minutes, right here on East Tennessee Weather. All right, so remember that wind chill advisory is in effect until noon today. Bone chilling, no doubt about it, but very sunny and very bright because of all the white snow. Snow reflects the sunshine, and it makes it that much brighter. Plus, with snow on the ground, we just don't heat up a whole lot. Got to melt the snow before we can heat the air around us, and so that's going to take a while. But at least we'll start to see improving conditions on the roadway. So if you're not comfortable driving, probably a good idea to stay home. Black ice is a major issue, but just try to avoid sudden stops. Try to avoid driving if at all possible. Of course, reduce our speed. Kind of the obvious, but just wanted to highlight some driving tips. Getting us out this morning, it is bone chilling. It is dangerous. Wind chill values 5 to 15 below zero. We start off right around zero, and we don't warm up a whole lot. 17 degrees by noon today. Forecast highs will actually be in the 20s, but wind chill values will continue to stay in the teens and low 20s all afternoon. But at least we have some sunshine. That's going to help to start to melt everything away. And speaking of which, take a look at this awesome drone video coming in from Campbell County. Landon Ford passed that one along. We got some snow. This is just a beautiful view with the drone flying across Campbell County. Doesn't get much better than that to really highlight what we saw around East Tennessee. Oh, by the way, Julie Ward, look at this. She's repping in Hamlin County. That's right. If you're looking for some merchandise from East Tennessee Weather, just hit me up. Mike at easttnweather.com. We'll have a conversation, and I'll ship off some merch to you, just like it did for Julie. Anybody for a snow angel? I'll just leave these on the screen. We'll go through a few photos because all of you have really outdone yourself with uploading the photos to the East Tennessee Weather app. We got snow angels in Claiborne County. We have Aaron in Neeland. Sent in by Vicky. So Vicky, thanks so much for that. How about Dave McKinney? Another great shot. Lily Grove in Tazewell. That's a gorgeous view right there. Kim Pennington. We've got Vince Lewis family right there from Hardin Valley. What a cute family that is. Fun in the snow. Who doesn't like the sled? Michelle Tro passed that one along. Heather Clinard from New Market. Oh, look at those little cuties. And some deep snow around the area. Hardin Valley picked up over 9 inches of snow. And Chewy from Rachel Hurst in Hardin Valley says, let's go frolic in the snow. That dog's doing better than my dog. My dog looks at you like you got a third eye if you try to put her out in the snow to go to the bathroom. Anyways, all right, we sure hope you